Good morning, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. How are you this morning? Time now is 6 o'clock in the morning. If you've got to be there by 7 o'clock, you've got 1 hour to get there. You're listening to 910 a.m. Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600. That's 313-778-7600. It's Friday, which means I've got at least one co-host with me today. Good morning, Keisha. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Kerry. I'm doing great.
All right. So let me take y'all back, since I'm going to turn 60 later on this year, back on my 50th birthday party, which I guess is going to be later on this year, time for me to have another birthday party. But back on my 50th birthday party, my big sister Margaret stood up in the middle of the party and said, while everybody is saying all of these great and colorful things to me, Margaret stood up and said, you know what? I really, really enjoy being your big sister, but the one thing that I really want is for you to stop being Captain Save-A-Ho. Now, Margaret has been like my big sister. Margaret and I met when I was in law school. We met in Lansing. Many of you know who Margaret is. If you've seen any of the pictures of us celebrating around Christmas time, she's usually in all of the holiday pictures. Maybe not this last year because of COVID, but up until then, Margaret Brown, a banking and housing executive here in town. Many folks know her. But Margaret said that in front of a room full of people. And even though I know that there was one example from our time in Lansing, when clearly I was being Captain Save-A-Ho, I was trying to help someone out of a situation where she was in an abusive situation with a boyfriend who was beating her up. And that me trying to get her out of it went totally backwards. It created, it taught me a life lesson about trying to help people, and about, the extent that I should go to try and help somebody who really, really, really didn't really want the help or deserve the help. But I didn't think that characteristic had followed me throughout my life. While going to marriage counseling a few years ago, found out that apparently that's one of my flaws. That I believe in helping folks that just don't deserve the help. And you've always got this, because y'all have heard me say before, God don't make no junk. And I really, really believe that no matter what somebody has done in her past, and today we're not talking about men. And for those folks that want to complain that this is just woman bashing kind of a show, we're not bashing all women. We're bashing one particular characteristic, one character flaw in a woman, and that's a woman who's for the streets, who no matter what you may do to try and help get them out of the situation they're in, you might think that they don't appreciate it, and they don't appreciate it for one reason and one reason only. They don't want it.
Well, here, I have to disagree.
I'm simply saying they don't want to be saved. You think that they all want to be saved?
No, I'm saying that it's men that are in the same predicament that want to be in the street. It's men out here that prey on women that don't want to be saved, but they want you to say they pocketbook. So it goes both ways. It ain't just women out here doing it. It's men too.
So, but wait. You threw something extra in there. You see, Keisha threw some sauce in. Who said something about the pocketbook? I don't know that. I mean, let me tell you, if in fact the man that's doing the saving has some means, or I'm trying to picture a situation where a woman has tried to save a man and tried to take him out the mud, clean him up. Other than that character in that TV that movie where the woman had Bobby Brown go get his teeth fixed. I gotta tell you, I know a lot of people. I've lived a lot. I have never seen that.
There's so many kids out here trying to build a man and he be over 30, 40 years old because they so pressed to be married, and they so pressed to have a man that they building somebody that ain't got nothing. I'm not going to talk because I can't cuss on the radio. There's a ton of women that are so close to have a title that they deal to somebody that's not even on their level. And that's just being real.
Oh,
so it's happening. I know it's happening.
Okay.
It's happening.
313-778-7600. I see that Dorian's already on the line. Jay, I need you to get on the phone, brother. 313-778-7600. So I had seen a post that Jay had put up about how upset he was or disappointed he was that he had invested so much time, energy, and effort into someone. And in the end, he found out that really no matter what you've done for this person, she's for the streets. You got to let her go. You got to accept the fact that everybody doesn't want you to save them. And as Keisha is saying that there are women out there that build a man, just as she was doing it, I thought about one situation, and if I discuss it, the friend of mine she's going to be upset. But I can think of one situation where she was a close friend of mine was doing that. She was trying to build a man. She had propped him up to all of her family and friends and said so many things about him. And then she decided, that she was going to step in and make him into this person she wanted him to be. And it just didn't work out. It went in the entire other direction. So, okay, I'll give to Keisha on that one that there are some situations where the woman is also doing I'm going to take the man out the mud and clean him up and dress him up. And you later on find out you should have left him in the street in the first place. 313-778-7600. I titled the show that we were going to do last Friday, but y'all know why we didn't do it today. The perils of being Captain Save-A-Hole. So I really want to talk about how do you wind up in that situation and how do you prepare yourself for the fact that, some people, male and female, just don't need to be saved. That you need to, get out of the relationship, whatever the heck you can get out of it, but understand that in the end, so that you don't wind up heartbroken, so that you don't wind up in jail posting bond over something that happened, that there are some people you just got to walk away from them. You just got to accept the fact that they are who they are, and no matter what you do, they're not going to change. 313-778-7600. Let's talk to Dorian. Good morning, Dorian.
Good morning. Morning, Keith.
Good morning, Dorian.
Hey, I got a topic we was trying. Look, I didn't give you too much time to think about this one. Yeah, man, listen, she's right about, you got some dudes out here getting saved like mud, but a lot of times it's the younger girls, you know what I'm saying? That ain't got no game. They still learning. They still having sex with each other.
No, it's 40-year-old plus woman doing it.
Well, you know what? That's because they probably undesirable, okay? And they have no other choice.
They just want to have a title.
No, they're more than likely undesirable. And that's why they pay. That's why they pay.
And why you say they undesirable? What's undesirable? What is the characteristics of an undesirable woman?
Well, you know what? That could be a huge gauntlet of different perspectives. But if you have to go in your perspective, man, that means that you are unattractive. That's one. And two, guys tend to be captains or whatever. Sometimes, look, my thing is this. I don't mind if I see somebody I know that needs some help, I'm gonna give them some help. But guess what? You keep that up because keep your panties on because you don't know me to be dealing with somebody on that level. Because once you get ensnared, you may think it's one way, it might be a whole nother way where you're gonna be out here since you want to be free-hearted with your body. Well, let me introduce you to Steve. Let me introduce you to Joe, and then you can get their money. And then the tribute.
Hold on, wait a minute, y'all. Dorian just went somewhere totally different. Dorian is pimping the woman. Is that what you're saying?
Listen, that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you're going to help somebody, do it, be genuine, even if it's a female. Because that's our problem right now. This is why we're having this discussion. We are divided as people, especially among the genders, because of y'all making money now. Y'all feeling like, well, I can do. Most of the time when I'm hearing women talking about they paying for stuff, it's because you're trying to compete and be like me anyway, a guy. That's man behavior to pay for something. That's why I'm saying you must be undesirable if you're doing that. You may have a bad person. That could be undesirable. You may be the cutest thing on the planet, but you're an a-hole, So It's just
But saving enough is not all about financially. Some women like to build a man up, and they see a gift in him.
if she's being generous, if she's not being disingenuous, if she's paying for a tool, then yeah, that's cool. Brothers, look, it's mutual. But if it's strictly based off of sex, yeah, you tricking, you hoeing, or whatever it is. But if you a brother that's out here, you doing that, you going to the bars, you up here buying drinks, you up here taking girls out to eat, and you getting the first date treatment on the ninth date, then yeah, man, you better let that walk. Because that is for the streets. And she getting a free meal and a conversation out. And she knows she ain't got no threat. But if that's what you want, then that's cool. But
so that's the whole point is how do you manage to protect yourself so that you don't wind up heartbroken or as I said, worse, in jail or hold on, out of a whole bunch of money when you later on find out this person just wasn't working in the first place.
Ain't nobody worth paying for nobody for all that time. Just remember that you're paying them to go.
Well, forget the pan. What about just trying to help them out? Clean, as what Keisha was talking about, cleaning them up, getting their teeth fixed, trying to, show them, get them a little education, that kind of thing.
Let me ask the lady a question. Keisha, if I was to help you out, you come to me and you say, hey, D, I'm in this jam. I need your assistance. I just, you my homeboy, woo, right? And I come to you straight up like, okay, I'll do this, but what would you rather me be honest, be like, yeah, I'll do all of that and you give me some, or me actually help you and then you just go about your business? See, if you go do it, that's what I'm trying to say. If you try to do something from a genuine point of view, that's cool. But if you out here trying to just get it, just being disingenuous off the top, you might as well cut your losses and just ask the flat out, how much would it take to get this? Because I don't want to see you no more. Or we can do this.
But Dorian, you're assuming that you know up front that this person is not really worth cleaning up and trying to help make them better. You throw her some. You've already made an assessment at the beginning. Listen, all you want is some cash. How much I got to give you? So I'm gonna give you some cash. I'm gonna get what I want. Then you go on. In that situation, you ain't being Captain Sable because you ain't clean. You ain't doing nothing other than you done paid her and move on. The characteristic of being Captain Sable is believing that you're gonna be able to make somebody better than they are. Believing that you are that you know something that you know what would make their life better than what they want in the first doggone place. They want to stay in the mud. They want to stay in the street, and you trying to help get them out.
You can't fight for somebody that don't want to fight for themselves. So that should be.
You're right, but there's a big difference in that and just giving somebody some cash and saying, "Listen, give me some booty. Here's your $40 back." Now, that in that case, you ain't trying to save nobody. You done spent the $40 and you moved on.
She want that anyway. She be wanting a bottle of Luzelle in a 3.5 grams, and that's all you need. That's all you got to do. That's what you're dealing with. Whoa. I don't know these women.
Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, Dorian. That's a different class of person that you're talking about. That wait, I know. Listen, Dorian, don't worry, brother. I know them women. Especially when you just talked about the drink, I know exactly who drinks it. But that's not the ones that I'm talking about. That person does not want.
Our listeners are classy, professional women. They're not bottom feeders. So we're just going to get this conversation to people to listen.
313-778-7600. Y'all, hold on. We got to take a break. When we come back, y'all know Grace is on the line. We're going to take Grace when we get back. We'll be right back.
The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative. Seen all around the world, we bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
My
My38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great price. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Devin C. for more information at 248-357-4566 or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads. The all-new 910 Superstation is your #1 source for urban talk radio. If you're looking for the best in radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Goodpods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside a Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
910 AM Superstation has the greatest advertising deal ever with our Godfather package. 100 spots for $600 with a must-air within 30-day policy, and we will even produce the spots free. That's right, free. Call Devin C. now at 248-357-4566. That's 248-357-4566. Or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads.
We've got you covered from sun up to sundown.
Good morning. It's Kerry Jackson, your urban conservative. Gonna cover a lot of ground today. I don't think that the police should decide, it's time for us to escalate stuff. Oh, no. There's got to be a fine line between we're going to keep order. But not, we're just going to get out here and knock people upside the head. Everything that you think is settled law can be done away with. This is the game they command to play. The question that you've got to ask yourself is, what are you individually going to do about it?
Weekdays on 910 AM Superstation.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, your urban conservative. Let's go back to the phones. Let's talk to Grace. Good morning, Grace. How are you?
I am well, Mr. Jackson, and how are you, Lady Keisha? I'm fine with that. Good morning, Grace. Thank you. Very complex subject here because there's so many variables with it. We're talking about age groups and how the 40-year-old feels and the 30-year-old feels and the 20-year-old feel. But I'm kind of glad because I raising a son still, that he realizes in his age group that his goods are just as valuable as her goods. And kudos to him. And I'm okay with boys finally thinking and knowing that her goods is not better than his goods. His can be sold just as well as hers can be sold. Kudos for them. But T.I. says also, too, it ain't tricking if you got it. Okay? So, really, that was in the 90s, wasn't it? Or something like that. And you know what? It is what it is. Because if she is together, we'll say, if she's really together, and she chooses just to seek out a project. But normally women see something in a man that he doesn't really see in himself if she's really together. And it really depends on the type of woman she is. She can build a project. If she wants to build him up, like Kerry, like you said, fix his teeth, keep his hair cut twice a week or whatever the case may be, or every 2 weeks, that's okay. It is absolutely okay. If she is seeing value in him, and he may not see it in himself, it's okay for that.
But wait, but take it from right where you're at right there. Let's say she She helps him get his teeth fixed. She makes sure that he starts to cut his hair and that he does a little bit more of, he learns a lot more about how to dress, about how to walk, how to talk, how to act more like a gentleman. But in the end, he slips and he goes back to what he was comfortable doing before she came along. Story today is not about him and about whether or not he can be fixed. It's about her or the man that's doing it. What happens once you find out that that person that you invested time, energy, and effort into, that you thought that you were trying to help them improve, when you find out I should have left them where I found them?
Well, I was responding to Miss Keisha because Miss Keisha was saying it can go both ways. So I was jumping into that.
And I'm glad you backed her up on that, because I honestly had not thought about that when I thought about setting the topic for the show. But you're right.
Yeah.
And since y'all have reminded me, there are situations I can think of where the woman did the same thing, found somebody and, invested a lot of time, energy, and effort, and sometimes invested some money in, probably dated down, below the level of what she deserves, and tried to, because she saw a spark, she saw a light in him, as you just said. Women have the ability to see something in a man that he doesn't see in himself. So yeah, and I give y'all all of y'all have that ability to try and figure out, how to make him better or some of that other stuff. But once you find out that this person is going to eventually, whether it's 6 weeks or whether it's 6 months, going to go back to being the person that you found in the mud in the first place, do you wind up getting heartbroken or upset? How do you not make that mistake again in the future?
Well, you have to evaluate the scope.
Yeah, y'all know y'all got to go one at a time.
No, I wasn't talking. Repeat that, Miss Keisha. It's kind of echoish. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was saying after every relationship, every experience or situation, you're supposed to reevaluate yourself and what you learned so you won't make those mistakes. And what things that were good and worked, try to take those things into your next experience. Most people always look at the bad in the situation and never look for the good. And then sometimes we just ignore red flags, and now we have to be like, okay, a red flag too, or wherever your boundary is, you got to walk away. Because sometimes we don't even set boundaries, and we just keep going until that person walks away from us.
Yeah. She's absolutely right. We have to check ourselves about what we're going to accept. What is our goal in this particular situation? Is it going to be something seasonal, or this is going to be long term? We kind of know when we walk in, and then we learn as we go. But some women are a lot more, and I'm going to say it, calculating and business-like when they're doing certain things like this. And I just kudos on the woman if she got her mess together, because she can actually achieve everything she chooses to set out to do. But it's sometimes.
Hold on a second, Grace. Don't go. You just read past something. What do you mean they're calculating?
Well,
We are.
Don't hold it. Come on.
Well,
you said it.
I'm gonna say this. Listen, I don't mind pursuing. I don't mind, because I know what I want and I know what I need, and I just like to cut through the chase. But in certain situations, I can put myself in the position to be pursued and let him think he did it all. I can't do that. I have done that, but it was all me that orchestrated everything, and he didn't have a clue. And I let him think that it is okay. Because sometimes men need that kind of push, because I don't know, y'all all over the place. Y'all really are. And that's why y'all can actually be pushed in a corner and made to be do to anything that we want you to do. In most cases, yes. Time, space, and air.
I'm just trying to see if I understand before Grace goes. Are you admitting to being manipulative? Duh. Wait. Call it what it is. What you just described is what you just said is I can intentionally and deliberately decide that I'm going to manipulate this man to do what I want him to do. But at the same time, I'm going to stroke his ego enough to make him think that he is the one that thought of it. But I'm the one that plotted it out the entire time. Is that who you're describing? You're admitting to being manipulative is what you're saying on air.
At times, I have been, yes. It is what it is. Yes. But I'm going to tell you this. cool with who I am and how I move and how I breathe. And he will be cool with it too if I chose him. Because he can walk away. He can say, no, I ain't in that. You know, whatever. And that's fine. I can pick another. Y'all just like trains. I can jump on one and jump off one. But yes, I have been calculating. I have been manipulative in my time, and still, it's in me. It's the way that I move and my maneuver, and it's okay. It's a part of my personality, a part of my character. I do quite well at it.
Thank you for sharing that, Grace. Now we've all got this visual of you jumping on and off one train for another. Thanks. I gotta move on.
I'm still at a good age, and I can do that without a helmet. Yes. Absolutely.
Fellas, when you meet Grace, wear a helmet. She's jumping on and off the trains. Wear a helmet. Now, I've got to wind up. I will do a commercial for the helmets. Wear the helmet. Let's move on. I want to talk to Crystal. Good morning, Crystal P. How are you this morning?
Hey, hi, Crystal. Oh my God, Grace just said literally a whole Grace. Amen. She's right. Women, they know what they want, but this is my whole take on both sides of the coin, whether you are Captain Save a Hoe or Captain Save a Hoette. It's like an investment when you play the stock market or when you open a business. Anytime you invest, you take a risk. Now, you can be invested in a man or a woman that might change and that is worthy and will see the good for the better, or you might invest your time in a man or woman who is manipulating or just using you for the time being. And as Keisha mentioned, you have to reevaluate yourself, not just after your mistakes, but during them, and say, hey, is this person worth me investing additional time in or throwing money after? I'll just, for me, my own personal experience, as people know, I'm married a second time. My husband pursued me, and I wouldn't give him the time of day. And he was buying me every high-end gift that I wouldn't even accept. I told him I don't accept gifts from people that I don't entertain. He was still finding a way to send me stuff, ship me stuff, flowers, the whole nine, expensive perfume, whatever, outfits from my favorite boutique. But after, one of my friends was like, hey, he's a person that pays attention to you, listens to you, just at least, date him and give him a chance. When I got to know him, he really had some great qualities. He wasn't 100%, the type of person that I was interested in, but he did have some qualities. I taught him certain things, having better credit, this, that, and the third, and showing him different things, not necessarily throwing money at him, but still time is money. And anytime you put time in a person.
Hold on, I'm going to Crystal, take a break. Because I got to wind up going to break, but it sounds to me what you just described is you decided to build a man. You decided that you saw something. Hold on a minute. You saw something in him that he didn't have and that he didn't see in himself. And you decided, I'm going to teach you how to be better at this and that. And the stuff that the game that he was running really didn't work with you. It took you time to sit back and do it. And I'm trying to figure out, I really didn't think the show was going this way, but it sounds like all of y'all women are, maybe what Grace has just said, y'all a little bit manipulative. 313-778-7600. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Do you
have an idea for an invention or new product? Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who've agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I can't help but notice that this morning's feed caught a heck of a lot more people than it usually does. Y'all use the telephone, 313-778-7600.
And I was slow at everything that I was doing. And I kept listening to the commercials. And, you know, you don't know if something's going to help you or not. But I decided this was something I was going to do. And lo and behold, in about 4 days to taking them, I was repotting plants. I was doing other things. My husband said to me, "You seem to have more energy." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." And I'm telling you, nothing has ever made such a difference. So anyway, I'm very happy.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code RADIO5.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours. The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 800-683-9499. 910, the Superstation. Detroit's only African-American talk radio.
The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 910 AM Superstation or Adele Media. We got you covered from sun up to sundown.
Good morning. It's Kerry Jackson, the urban conservative. We're going to cover a lot of ground today. I don't think that the police should decide, it's time for us to escalate stuff. Oh, no. There's got to be a fine line between we're going to keep order. We're just going to get out here and knock people upside the head. Everything that you think is settled law can be done away with. This is the game they plan to play. The question that you got to ask yourself is, what are you individually going to do about it?
Weekdays on 910 AM Superstation.
All's my life, hard times like bad chips like Nazareth, I'm up, homie, you up, but if God got us, then we gon' be. Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson, together with my co-host Keish Carr. It's Friday, and Friday is usually when we tackle not political subjects, but we usually get into the area of y'all. Oh, that's right, I forgot. Y'all named it Relationship Friday. So it's Relationship Friday. 313-778-7600. We right before we went to break, we were in the middle of Crystal talking about her opportunity to take somebody and to dress them all up. Crystal, your relationship so far as we know, seems to be good and it's working. My question is, what happened? Well, I guess, following Keisha's, y'all should look out for red flags and assess yourself after every relationship.
Is this something, did you learn something from prior relationships that you carried into the current relationship where you said, I'm not rushing into it. I'm going to take my time. I don't care how much he pursues me. I don't care what he tries to throw at me. He's not going to be able to buy me. I'm going to wait this one out and make sure that it's right this time. Is that what you did?
Well, yeah, because first time I was married for 20 years, 4 months, 9 days, and 3 hours. So, of course, I know what I want and don't want to deal with. And I wouldn't necessarily call him a building a man because he's already built. Sometimes you make a cake and you ice the cake, but then sometimes you add a flower or a little decoration. And that's all I did. He already is built. He has a job with the city. He has pension. He has a home. He has cars. There's motorcycles. So he was already established. I was just showing him some things that he may not have been introduced to in life. One of my favorite restaurants is Fleming's. He had never been to Fleming's before. So he was experiencing new experiences. And in the same token, there were some things that I also learned from him. So it's not necessarily always being manipulative or calculating. You do, of course, know what you want. I'm sure he probably wanted some booty starting off, but then he got to realize, okay, she not like these other broads that I done came across. This is a different type of pursuit. And once he began to know and understand me, his perspective changed as well as mine, and then we can build something. But if you got somebody and you're trying to teach them or you're throwing money at them and all they're doing is taking, then you need to say, okay, this is a red flag. Maybe I need to exit stage left. Relationship is about the giving and the taking, the learning and the receiving, the teaching. So it goes both ways. And if there's no reciprocity, then there's a problem there. And that's the problem. Just like that young lady, and I hate to even use this as an example, the young lady whose father was a pastor and mentoring and pastoring that guy in prison, and she got out, she married him, and then he turned around and tried to kill her and killed all of their children. Some people, you're throwing something at certain people that you shouldn't be throwing at them.
Hold on a minute. Wait. Hold on a second. Crystal, there was, in the situation that you just talked about, there was no way that she knew that he was going to wind up being the ticking time bomb that he was. So, okay, both of y'all can't talk at the same time. Say what you just said,
Crystal.
Crystal.
Did he murder somebody before?
Crystal, you know how many murderers I've represented? When you sit there and you talk to them, they murdered somebody, but you can be rehabilitated. You can shoot somebody and still wind up going on with your life and not be a horrible person. It depends on whether or not, on how you were raised. Did you wind up shooting somebody because you were in a situation where it was untenable and that was your only option? Or did you shoot somebody because you were a predator and that's what you do every single solitary day?
Well, he wasn't shooting because he was in an untenable situation. Let's say that. But you have to look. It's like an investment. You take a risk anytime you get into a relationship. Terry, I'm sure many of the women that you dated in the past,
some of them you might know, okay?
Yeah, I do. And some of them you probably thought this is going to blossom into something great until another side is shown and you're like, oh no, let me step aside. So it's always a risk there. The problem is, do you stay in that bad risk investment and continue to throw money at it? Or do you finally say, you know what, I wash my hands of this situation, lesson learned, I'll take my, pack up my toys and go home and not repeat this behavior or this type of thing. And I could just say this, there are some women out here, there are some that are very, and when I say manipulative and calculating, they see what you have done for other women. And they just wait and they turn and they little panties is wet. And when they get open and they're going to try to slide in because they know Carrie is the type that's going to do and give.
If the panties are wet, y'all know.
And Terry advertises that he takes care of women. So he's an easy play. I mean,
Carrie's off the market, y'all. Let's just make sure that we're clear about something today. Carrie is currently off the market, and I plan to stay that way.
Before he was off the market, Carrie would be easy prey if I was listening to this show. Because Carrie tells you, Carrie shows you that he find wives and date chicks on his social media. So you know he's gonna date you, he's gonna take you out. He tells you what he's been bought for.
And as Crystal just told you, the initial thing is you after the booty. So listen, hold on, wait a second. A, this is not the Let's Talk About Carrie's Dating Relationship show. And B, you honestly think that I'm the only one that's what my motivation is? Do you honestly believe it, or do you think Carrie at least tells the truth when other folks are going to lie to you and pretend that that's not what they want?
No, Carrie don't tell the truth. You're an easy prey for most women who want a guy to save them. They have an ulterior motive or want to be manipulative. You would be easy prey. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you is about you. I'm just saying you're the person that would be
easy prey. For the rest of the day, y'all, I'm going to hear that Jaws theme playing in my ear. Do, 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 do. Carrie's easy prey is going to get chopped up.
Carrie, have you ever seen Gorman?
Unfortunately, yeah. And found out later on that she was for the streets. Yes.
And what did you learn after that? After that experience?
The real question is, have I decided that I'm never going to do anything like that ever again? That I'm just going to make sure that I pick them up and toss them aside? No. I was born and raised to believe God don't make no junk. I am never going to punish the next woman because of the decisions and the stupidity of the last one. Yeah. Never.
So you learned the lesson.
I knew that lesson beforehand. I learned the lesson to not care anything at all about or put any more time, energy, and effort into that one particular person and to move on from there. But, let's be clear. There are 330 million people in this country alone and billions in the other countries. I am not going to worry about what happened with one individual person. Life's too short. Move on.
Right. So you would save again, is what you're saying.
Would I save another one again? Would I pick somebody up and polish them off and try and make them better than they were when I met them? Yeah. Am I going to wind up getting to the point that I got to wind up being put in handcuffs for it? I hope not. I really hope not.
And I hate to go back to this because it's so funny. I'm thinking about a year ago, our previous co-host said that about something. He had a show and she said that about you and that person. And it just came to fruition right now.
Okay, let's be clear. Our previous co-host and a whole bunch of other people said that about that other person. But I had to make up my own mind that when it was time to cut that person loose and send them on their way and let them go back to the streets. That's what she wanted. But I needed to make sure that because there have been times when I have reacted that, let me tell you, everybody in this town that knows me will tell you that I've got a hot head and I can sometimes react really quick. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't reacting hot-headed and that I made an educated decision. That's what I did in that chat and that thing. Thank you, Crystal, for getting up.
I love y'all, Hubbard, and I better see you at my show.
You definitely will. 313-778-7600. Wait. Oh, that's right. Well, we got 60 seconds when we go to break. Tell everybody about the show. Come on. Crystal, did we lose Crystal? Crystal, call back so that you can tell everybody about the show, because today is the 24th. So I need you to get that out and tell everybody today. 313-778-7600. We're going to take a very quick break. We'll be right back.
And when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for the pay cut. Bahamas, I be looking at you from the face down. Or Mac 11, need the room with the face down. Scheming, and let me tell you about my life. Painkillers only put me in the twilight. We're pretty Benjamin is the highlight. I tell my mama
WADL gets a facelift and is now My 38 Detroit. Along with a facelift comes new programming on Mondays at 8 p.m. Catch a 2-hour block of Law and Order SVU. Tuesdays, Chicago Fire. Wednesdays, Dateline. More Dateline and Chicago PD on Thursdays and on Fridays. You'll get more Chicago PD to start your weekend. We'll still have some of your favorite shows like Mom, Blackish, and Friends. Just adding more for you to enjoy on My 38. The Word Network has been broadcasting inspirational messages around the world since the year 2000, and we keep getting bigger and better and more innovative, seen all around the world. We bring you the best teaching, impartation, singing, and inspiration. If you want original programming, we have that too. The Word Network is your exclusive source for all things inspiration, and we can be found on every device imaginable. If you want to be uplifted and inspired, you need the Word Network.
My 38 is offering a great special that cannot be refused. Are you looking for a great deal on TV advertising? Are you searching for an avenue to get your business name out to the public? With My 38, we are offering a great special with 100 commercial ads for a great price. This offer is for a 30-day ad placement. Please contact Devin C. for more information at 248-357-4566 or email at d.calhoun@thewordnetwork.org. This excludes political ads. The all-new 910 Superstation is your number one source for urban talk radio. If you're looking for the best in radio programming, look no further. You can now listen in on a multitude of audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Buzzsprout, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Listen Notes, and coming soon to Amazon Music, Goodpods, and Overcast. 910 AM Superstation, the largest, strongest, 50,000-watt urban radio station in town.
Did you know most vitamin supplements don't even come from food? Even the products with colorful fruits and vegetables adorning the labels are seldom derived from produce. Typically, supplements are synthetic, made in a laboratory. Modern science may synthetically imitate these chemicals, but your body isn't fooled. It knows the difference, and it craves quality materials to build, repair, and fight illness. You need to consume fruits and vegetables daily in a variety of colors, as well as whole grains and other fresh food. That's why I formulated Balance of Nature. I wanted to be able to give my patients a natural alternative to the cheap, unnatural chemistry by giving them real fruits and vegetables. In fact, the only ingredients inside of Balance of Nature are whole fruits and vegetables. Don't settle for imitation nutrition. Reach for the good stuff, the real stuff.
Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com. Get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code RADIO5.
We've got you covered from sunup to sundown. Good morning. It's Kerry Jackson, the Urban Conservative. Gonna cover a lot of ground today. I don't think that the police should decide, it's time for us to escalate stuff. Oh, no. There's got to be a fine line between we're going to keep order. We just don't get out here and knock people upside the head. Everything that you think is settled law can be done away with. This is the game they command to play. The question that you've got to ask yourself is, what are you individually going to do about it? Weekdays on 910 AM Superstation.
Welcome back, Metro Detroit. This is Kerry Leon Jackson together with my co-host Keisha Carr. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, Metro Detroit's only urban talk radio station. The number here in the studio is 313-778-7600. It's 313-778-7600. Crystal, tell us what's going on tomorrow over on Southfield Road at the Silver Gardens Event Center.
Yes, it's the More Than the Ice to See show featuring me and Demetrius Neighbors. You're not familiar with Demetrius Neighbors. He is the one that produced Nobody for Detroit's own Kim. He did a lot of the vocal arrangement and musical arrangements on the first album for him. We will also, y'all know me as a comedian, but I'm also doing music as well. And some of the proceeds go to benefit Lupus Detroit. A lot of people don't know that I was diagnosed with lupus December of 2015. So my show always gives back. So you're going to get some laughs. You're going to get some music. We're going to take you in different eras and just give you a good time. My show starts at 7. The doors open at 6. My show starts on time. So if you're one of them people that tarry, you might want to start leaving the house about 5 or getting ready at 4 so you can be there in your seat.
Tickets are $35.
Because there are no VIPs left. All the VIPs went already. So $35. You can get them on Eventbrite by going to More Than the Eyes Can See. Go to my page. You go to my website, crystalpscrazy.com. Upcoming events, and click on the link there. God's World will have them today until about noon, as well as AYV Fresher Brand Clothing and Royal Local tickets are there.
All right. Tomorrow night, More Than the Eyes Can See at the Silver Gardens Event Center on Southfield Road. Show starts, as she said, the doors open at 6. The show starts right on time at 7.
Yeah.
Okay. 24530 Southfield Road. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I love y'all.
Love you too.
Love you.
All right.
Love you too, sir.
Let's go with John. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Kerry and Keisha.
Good morning, man.
What's on your mind?
Oh man, this topic can go all kind of ways. But first of all, it all depends on the age of what individuals you talk about first. Because if somebody already went through this, then the second route they go their second time around, it'll be a different whole ball game on how the way they will approach the individual. It'll be a whole different thing. So it all depends on the age and
Okay.
what they allow themselves to do the second time.
So you think that 20-year-olds don't make the same mistakes that a 50-year-old would make?
No. They will because they're young. I'm talking about older people.
You say by the time we're 50, we should know better.
That's right. Yeah, okay.
All right.
You're 50. No, by the time you're 50, you should be done went through that about 20 times.
You went through it enough that you've learned that lesson and you know what not to do in the future.
That's right. The 21st time, you should know.
Thank
what
you.
to look out for.
All right. I agree. Thanks for calling this morning.
All right.
Before we run out of time, Dorian, any last words you want to wrap up with? Dorian.
Okay. Sitting there being a barber. It's how can I put this? You can do all of those things and try to build a bear or got your little project. It's a bear. And if that's what you want to do, you just can't expect another thing too. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes people try to build something, try to create something that doesn't exist. They want a perfect woman or a perfect man. And that tends to not exist. You got to accept people who they are. But it's the first thing, your first inclination is to reach in your pocket and to throw something. And on the first thing on your mind also is sex. You tricking, you Captain Satan. You know what I'm saying? And it should be something like my man just said, but after the 4th, 5th, or 20th time, you should figure that out. You shouldn't be so free-hearted with your money. I mean, look, Kerry, you was exposed tonight, man. You was exposed today, bro.
Listen, do me a favor. Count the number of times that Keisha had decided to use a Friday morning to call me out. She and I have a talk about that over the weekend. All right.
I did not call you out.
Yeah, sure, Keisha. Sure. Right.
Listen, he came up with the topic, and it was supposed to be one-sided just to talk about women, but I just introduced that it goes to the males. But I'm going to wrap it up with my last thought. We have to, if you believe in God, because everybody knows, but if you believe in God, you got to believe it. You got to pray that he show you who that person is. And when he reveals it to you, you got to be able to accept it and walk away.
Listen, y'all see what Keisha just said? Keisha, that was one of them drop the mic things. I don't know if she had written it out and she was prepared, but that's the best way to wind up closing out the show. As Keisha said, you got to listen to what God tells you. And when God says it's time to move, you got to be willing to move right then. All right. Thanks for getting up and joining me this morning, Dorian, Crystal, Keisha, and everybody that's in the feed. As I said a few minutes ago during the break, I noticed there's a lot more people that jumped in the feed this morning that don't usually jump in the feed. I want y'all to know I appreciate all of y'all for being here, y'all. but I'm out of time now. Next up is State Representative Joel Jones. Either he or a member of the foundation will be here to bring you information and inspiration from 7 to 9, followed by, since today is Friday, Charlene Mitchell will be here in place of Anthony Adams from 9 to 11. I will be back in front of this microphone on Monday morning, bright and early at 6 o'clock. Y'all listen, apparently it's going to be bright and sunny today, but chilly. And then, we've got to deal with spring and winter all weekend. This is Michigan. We've gone through all of that stuff before. Just stay safe. Have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to talking to each and every one of y'all on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Have a great one.